Throughout the morning. Morning.
Hi, good morning, ladies. Good morning, everyone at home. Yeah, well, the debate really starts in Westminster today when MPs are going to be combing through some of the details that were announced in the Chancellor's budget. But of course, the debate around kitchen tables, around coffee tables, like these ones in Sheffield, well, that's already started, hasn't it? So I'm joined by some journalism students, some politics students, some businesses as well. We're going to be looking through what some of these things mean for you. Ella, just your quick take on headlines like this. Austerity coming to an end. Is that the headline rate for you?
Not really. I think the money set aside for mental health is the really important thing in the budget.
You follow politics very closely. What was the standout announcement for you?
Not only the mental health, which of course I'd agree with, but then hopefully finally the digital service tax, which we'll see.
That's certainly the hope, isn't it? Adam, what about you?
I think for me the biggest thing is the mental health tax. I think cuts being put towards it. So I think if that goes well, students will be very happy.
And Vicky, you run a small business about 10 minutes from here, don't you, down the road? What's the big thing for you? Hit or a miss from the Chancellor?
It's a cautious hit for me.
OK, well, we're going to be going through some of these headlines. Austerity coming into an end. What does...
Good morning. Here's a summary of today's main stories from BBC News. Businesses have welcomed Philip Hammond's pre-Brexit budget, but it's been attacked by Labour as a series of half measures and quick fixes.
The Chancellor has American migrants continue to head north on foot. The school children are at serious risk of becoming involved in knife crime, according to MPs and the charity Bernardo's. The unusual skill of welly-wanging.
I wonder if she knew she was going to be any good at this. The Duchess threw a pink-spotted Wellington. I wonder if spots help as well.
Might do.
If you welly-wanged.
Normally camping.
Or,
right.
Or like country
Camping
fairs.
after a little bit.
See, if someone threw my wellies out, I'd be... I don't think the camping trip would be going well.
Your wellies are more like kind of high-vis jacket wellies on a building site for work.
Yeah,
I
mine
imagine.
are steel cap boots.
Yes.
I'm going to get you the rules. We all know where the fairy tale, the pumpkin magically turns into a glass carriage, but look at this, a pumpkin that did turn into a boat.
Oh, much more than welly-wanging.
How would you know it's the world's largest? The world's largest that's been sailed down the River Ouse, perhaps. That sort of record.
Yeah, well, I don't imagine there are that many people. Maybe there are who've been...
Yeah, maybe don't try this at home.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely not. And Sally, you're talking this morning about Leicester as well, because we see so many tributes paid, haven't we?
Yeah.
And
it's incredible, isn't it? The story, the Leicester City story.
Remember those days.
Well, I do too, and it makes me feel really old because actually the interesting thing that happened to Will Carling is since he retired, he really did kind of dip out of the spotlight quite significantly. So they're going to bring him back 2 days a week, which sounds like a brilliant part-time job.
Well, it does, doesn't it? What do you think he'll bring that they don't have?
What they want from him is that kind of leadership quality. That's what he was known for during his heyday, that ability to lead the team. And that's what I think they want him to show examples of to the current squad. They're going to see how he goes until November, and if it works, he might continue and he might just keep the job with them. But that's what Eddie Jones feels they need, a leader, someone to show them leadership qualities. Meanwhile, the British #1, Kyle Edmund.
But yes, as well, wasn't it?
It was a pretty quick...
Oh, you'd have to, though, wouldn't you? If someone had just gone a goal and ran at you.
Public proposals. Ooh.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure about that.
There's been some classics over the years, haven't
congratulations to the happy couple. That's great.
Thank you very much. See you a little bit later. Thanks so much, Sam. At 6:42, in his last budget before we leave the EU, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Philip Hammond, said he wanted to help the strivers, grafters and carers.
Yeah, so what do people out there in the real world make of it all? Well, Victoria is in Sheffield for us this morning, gauging reaction to some of yesterday's announcements. Morning to you, Victoria. It looks gorgeous there. You're at the Winter Gardens, aren't you?
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous, Steph. You'd absolutely love it. Good morning to you. Yeah, there are something like 2,500 different plants here, different species. We get a smooth exit, from the EU next year. A big assumption, big elephant in the room, Brexit, was barely mentioned yesterday at all. And does all of this get ripped up if there's a no deal? And would spreadsheet Phil end up going back to the drawing board? Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
And also, actually, we're speaking to him. Thanks very much, Victoria. We're speaking to him a little bit later. We'll ask him that question. He called it a budget for strivers, grafters and carers. What do you think?
Yeah,
why don't you get in touch?
Yeah, get in touch with us, let us know. In the meantime, let's find out what's happening with the weather. Matt can tell us. Matt, now yesterday you didn't have enough layers on. I'm hoping today you're all right, given you're inside.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have gone head-to-head in the first sporting competition of their tour, and Meghan emerged triumphant in the unusual skill of welly wanging. It's throwing.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what it was. But yeah, it is apparently welly wanging. I've now been given a lot of facts, so thank you for people who've sent me these. Also known as welly hoying, welly throwing and boot throwing as a sport involved. Well, yeah, throwing a welly. Wang is a Yorkshire word for throw, so that's why it's called wanging it.
And it is an excellent sport, and I can actually see John McDonnell. He did genuinely laugh when we were just about. He's still laughing now. He's obviously played. We're going to interview him now about more serious things, but he's obviously played as well. You need to join in, Steph.
Yeah, I do. I need to get on the welly wanging.
Yeah, we're talking about the budget, aren't we? A budget of broken promises. That's Jeremy Corbyn's verdict on Philip Hammond's
coming to an end, and pledged they would boost public spending with tax hikes for high earners. Well, let's get more detail on those plans from the Shadow Chancellor John McClory out in Sheffield as well this morning, talking to businesses to get their reaction, and lots of other people who affected by what was said in the budget. Should we find out what's happening with the weather?
Somebody who's not out today.
Yeah.
You've let him be in the studio. Matt, morning.
Good morning. Yes, I'm in somewhere slightly warmer this
Main stories from BBC News, and businesses have welcomed Philip Hammond's pre-Brexit budget, but it's been attacked by Labour as a series of half measures and quick fixes.
The Chancellor has insisted that...
and Steph has now been
I've been learning all about it.
Welly wanging, yes.
Welly wanging.
It's a great sport, Steph.
Yeah,
I can't believe you've never played this.
What I didn't understand was what the aim of it was.
Just to throw it as far as you can.
Yeah, but apparently there's regional variations. So some people, the boot has to be full of water. Some you're allowed to run when you throw it.
Right, I've never done running. All I've done is just throwing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And sometimes you have to make it land in an empty dustbin first.
Oh, yes, sometimes you have to do that, make it land somewhere specific. Anyway, Sally's played.
Yeah, I've played. Yeah.
Any good?
No, clearly rubbish. But no, just that kind of like standing still, throwing the welly, normally on a camping trip.
Yes. You're talking about other things as well this morning.
Yeah.
Obviously, Leicester City, it's been an extraordinary outpouring of grief and tributes.
On the football. Remember I showed you the footballer proposing to his girlfriend? Got an interesting update.
Okay,
all right.
We'll have to wait an hour. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. The reason we're going to move on is because we're going to talk to the Chancellor now. Our main story, Philip Hammond's final budget before Brexit. Let's speak now to the Chancellor himself. Morning to you. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good morning.
You've said that austerity is finally coming to an end. I suppose the first question is, what do you say to those people whose benefits are frozen next year, and it's going to probably feel to them, because of the rising cost of living, as a real terms cut?
Like orangutans and seals have completely disappeared from the planet.
It might sound far-fetched, but the stark warning from a group of global scientists this morning is that could easily become reality if we don't act now.
Yeah, the conservation charity WWF says there's been a 60% decline in mammals, birds, fish and reptiles since 1970, and much of it as a direct consequence of human action. So is it too late to turn things round? Well, with us is Tanya Steele, who Scotland Yard have begun searching a garden in the West Midlands in connection with the murder of Susie Lamplugh more than 30 years ago. Now, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have gone head-to-head in their first sporting competition of their tour down under. Now, at this point, I was thinking, you know, it's going to be some type of
Like
race.
hockey or yeah.
Yeah, and it's welly wanging. Yeah, Meghan emerged triumphant in this unusual skill. She threw a pink-spotted Wellington boot a little further than her husband as they played the game.
Have you lost the rules, Steph? You didn't even know what it was before this morning. I can't believe you've missed out on this fun sport.
Yeah, I mean, I've no idea how I've managed to miss this, but because it actually originates, doesn't it, from wang is a Yorkshire word for throw, which I did know that.
Yeah.
Because welly hoying as well, and the objective is to throw the boot the furthest.
Yeah.
But there are regional variations, I'm told, to this competition.
And sometimes you fill them up with water. I didn't know that.
And it's believed the sport originated in the West Country of England in the 1970s, and it is now played in lots of different countries.
I'm pretty convinced that I've seen Mike Bushell.
Yeah,
at the sort
yeah.
of national championships. I might be making that up, but he must have done this.
Yeah,
and if he hasn't, why
yeah,
not?
he must have done it.
We'll check.
The current world record, apparently, for the longest throw, 209 feet for men, set by Tempu Luma in Finland in 1996. There we are.
Long way. Anyway, there you go. Everything you ever needed to know about that.
I was engrossed then. I could have gone on for reading about welly wanging. Anyway.
8:10. So in the last half an hour, Philip Hammond has been defending his budget to breakfast. Many of you may have been watching that interview. Thank you for your comments on that as well.
Yes, Victoria's in Sheffield, where she's been gauging the reaction to yesterday's announcement in the Winter Gardens in Sheffield. Morning, Victoria.
Good morning to you.